Good morning. Good morning, Russ. You want to tell us, who is Russ? What do you do?
Sure. So hi, everyone. My name's Russ Avery, and I am a sustainability marketing professional. So my background is that I've been in sustainability marketing for about 8 years now, and now I'm an independent marketing and sales consultant for sustainability-focused companies.
How do you then add value to your clients now that especially now that you are going solo? So obviously you have a USP, your unique selling point, and how do you do that?
Sure. So I myself is very fortunate with the experience I've gained over the last 8 years, and I'm now working with a broad range of clients, from tiny 1 to 2 man startups through to one of the world's largest engineering firms, which is very exciting. And I'm able to offer them a full suite of marketing support and consultancy services. So my approach is I've branded it up as Ready, Steady, Grow. And it's a fully holistic approach to an organization's marketing and sales efforts. So a typical journey with a client might look like conducting a marketing and sales gap analysis report, of which I've done several now since I started in April, to identify what marketing activity they're currently doing, what the gaps are, what the opportunities are, and aligning that to their overall company strategy and helping them decide where they need to go. And then that leads to the groundwork has then been laid to being able to do a fully holistic approach in a really logical path to getting them where they want to be. So I do everything from helping to implement a marketing strategy and a marketing plan to help execute that strategy. And then I'm obsessed with good branding and the importance of good branding. So in the Steady suite of services, I have a brand territory service, and I help companies do rebrands or build brands from scratch. A brand, by the way, being so much more than just your visual brand, but also how you talk about yourself, your vision, mission, and values, how you position yourself. To doing new websites, and then Grow is they've done all the groundwork, they've got a strategy in place, they've got a good brand in place. So Grow is all about the lead generation campaigns to help them to win new business and get their names out there. So I guess that's it.
Amazing. I might use your services soon.
We'll talk about that after the call.
Okay, let's do that. So that sounds really good. Also, because knowing my colleagues and myself, to be fair, we tend to be technical people, and lots of these companies in the sustainability space are technical. So don't necessarily, A, have the skills, B, have the even the thinking, of actually market themselves in any way. And through this journey of, putting together Green Gorilla, I actually found out, there are lots of techniques and soft skills, as they used to be called, that need to really be employed alongside your technical ability. Technical ability is obviously the reason why you're in business, but without those, you can't really do anything of significance, and perhaps you are shutting yourself some doors that are, in fact,
absolutely.
So in that sense, do you have some tips for us, for sustainability consultants that need a lot of help in marketing and selling ourselves, and the sustainability argument mostly?
Absolutely. So like you've rightly said, technical people often aren't the best communicators. So that's where, I'm very fortunate, because I'm working with a lot of these kinds of people who just simply need that marketing support from someone like me who knows what they're doing in communication. So my top tips would be storytelling. So I'm working with lots of companies at the moment, and several of them are direct competitors of one another. And also, having worked for 2 sustainability consultancies myself, I've seen a lot about how companies communicate their services and their offerings. So the key differentiator between a lot of them, when they're delivering exactly the same solutions and services from one another, is that the company that makes the emotional connection with the consumer or the prospect is the one who's far more likely to win the sale. And how do you build an emotional connection? Through storytelling and effective communications. So technical people will, through no fault of their own, because it's where their expertise lie, they will talk in technical terms and features, and they'll use jargon, forgetting that their audience might not know the same acronyms or words or terminology that they know, and they won't communicate their service in terms of the benefits very often. They'll talk about the features of it, but that's not going to work, and it's not going to help push your prospect or your client further down the sales funnel to make a decision to buy from you, because you haven't answered one crucial question, which is, what's in it for me? So your messaging simply has to be answering that question. What's in it for the client? What's in it for the consumer? So to do that, you have to have a compelling value proposition, where you remove the barriers as much as you can. So trim down on all the barriers of your product, highlight all the benefits of your product or service. And by doing that, you will create the value. So I guess in summary, removing the barriers, highlighting the benefits, and then talking all about the value. So if you constantly think in your communications with your prospects or your clients, what's in it for them? Like, what do I need to communicate to them? Make that emotional connection. You will take a huge step forward in being able to get them across the line and to communicate the value of sustainability in an effective manner.
I think that's so spot on, and it's also going back to the fact that it's not 1980s anymore, and so you need to make a connection with people in order to sell them anything. You need to really respond to a genuine need, I suppose, and the what's in it for me answer is really, what do you need from me? How can I help you making your life easier and your project better, and etc. So, and I think we in this industry, unfortunately, we forget because we don't actually know. So I think there is a big piece of education that needs to be done in that sense.
One other thing, Virginia, is avoiding greenwash at all costs.
Oh, yeah.
And many people think that greenwash is just about the language you use, but people are getting better and better at being able to spot it. So if they'll pick up very quickly if you're talking about one tiny little green or sustainable aspect of an otherwise dirty industry or service or something. They're going to see through that quite quickly. So again, it's all about removing as many barriers as possible, focusing on the benefits, and just not, I know it sounds really obvious, but never outright lying or exaggerating the sustainable benefits that something has, because if your consumer or client sees through that, it will, count against you even more negatively in terms of trying to get them across the line. Something that I have on the homepage of my website is vision plus voice equals change. So part of the problem is that when I work with sustainability focused companies, their vision isn't usually the problem, because being a purpose driven organization, they usually have a very clearly defined vision, which is great, but they lack the voice to communicate that vision and therefore do more of the great work that they're trying to do. So I would say to sustainability consultants in your audience out there, Virginia, that if they've got a vision for what they're trying to do, then that's one big step in the right direction to achieving their goals. But they have to get that communication piece right, and that's the voice. And then with your vision and the right voice, you can then really affect change very well, and hopefully achieve your goals.
Perfect. Sounds amazing, and I'm very pleased we're very aligned in that sense.
Absolutely, yeah, me too.